So I didn't mention this last time during the last session, but would like highly recommend people to go seek out the Japanese opening to VC1 because you can hear the fancy J-pop song that goes on. It's pretty nice.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a joke about, oh, it's a Sega game. Maybe we should have, you know, a Sonic opening. But apparently,
or something by Hatsune Miku.
Not quite. Not quite on either case.
I was gonna say it's like early Tales games where instead of Japanese openings they have like epic music.
It gives me a Zeta Gundam vibe where like the US release couldn't have the instrument or the vocal version, so they just used Zeta's Pulse as a like sci-fi, you know, space opera theme, and it works.
Okay, previously on Valkyria Chronicles, we are Squad 7. We got our legs wet into pushing back the Imperial forces as we got our start. Did decently well in Vassal Bridge, in Cloden Wildwood, and now we're moving on to Barious Desert, and shenanigans are about to unfold.
Oh boy.
First, gotta do report.
Report. A taste of home.
Since we unlocked this last time, we didn't have time to do it because we were already going pretty long.
And done. That takes care of the report. Who's there?
Da-da-da.
who's there?
It's our the new favorite son.
Hans? Did you come here all by yourself? Boy, you sure are smart. Hey, stop tugging, Hans.
Freaky
What's up?
creature.
Is there something this way?
I like it.
Very good.
Okay, I get it. Lead the way. And you can stop biting my boots already.
Incidentally, Dave Winneberg is the guy doing Hans's moink sounds. So he's talking to himself in this scene.
Is there a trope for that?
You went and got
Talking
welcome
to
for me?
yourself is the
Nice
trope
going,
name.
Hans. Thanks.
Okay.
Rom and Ryoma be like,
I just got led around base by a pig. Any idea what he wants with me, Alicia?
Oh no, I was the one who wanted to see you. Are you hungry, Welkin?
Hungry? Well, yeah, actually.
Really? Oh, good. I whipped a little something up for you. Come see.
What? Back in the kitchen? Whoa.
What she do? T for 2.5.
Wow. I've never seen so much bread in one place. You baked all this yourself, Alicia?
Mm-hmm. It's been a while since I made anything. I was worried I might be getting a bit rusty. But the oven was free, so I helped myself.
It smells great. Okay, here goes.
I will engorge in pan. Nom.
Welkin? You okay?
Delicious.
Really?
Yeah, I've never eaten bread this good. It's really impressive.
Welkin had a new type of awakening when we ate the bread.
Welkin, you look like a chipmunk.
You know how chipmunks and hamsters stuff their little cheeks full of food like that? I finally understand why.
I can't believe Welkin just learned cheek pouch.
I won't lie, I miss the new type flashes when you press alert.
Ah, same, Ron, same!
You don't even get them in the
so
cut-ins
full.
anymore either,
That
at
was
least the
great,
sound
huh,
effect.
Hans?
Old-time Super Robot Wars was a different era. Moink.
I can't believe you put it all away. It was a little scary watching you two eat.
Surprise, the
Still,
pig being a
I'm
pig.
glad you liked it. It feels good to see people enjoying my bread.
It felt good eating it. Thanks for baking it all.
You're welcome. Oh, Welkin, you have some... There's just a little crumb. There we go.
Hmm? Oh. So, you said you worked at a bakery before the war started?
Yeah. I was a live-in apprentice under the Meister running the shop. Once things settle down, I plan on taking the national exams and opening up my own bakery.
Bredumeister.
Wow. You need to be licensed to run a bakery? That sounds pretty tough.
It's been my dream since I was a little girl. It's what I enjoy doing the most. I love imagining entire families eating the bread I make together. A loving husband, maybe, and cute little kids waiting for their mom to get home.
Dreaming big, Alicia.
She comes in with a big basket of my bread, and the kids all cheer and embrace her.
Okay.
He's tuned out.
Oh, and what if my bread brings the husband and wife closer together? She
That'll
could
never
say,
happen.
"Oh, honey, you have a crumb in your beard," and then she'd... Listen to me. That's just like what happened here a minute ago, Welkin, but I,
Are you alright, Alicia?
Huh? I'm fine. Anyway, I'll keep baking it if you keep eating it.
It's a deal. And thanks again.
Welkin, ever clueless.
Next, I'll make you a rubber pie.
Bunch of nerds.
And now, dessert.
Oh.
We eat sand for breakfast.
Know what? This is one strange place. Rocks with holes in them. Dug up ground as far as the eye can see.
Not always. They say this used to be a huge ancient city. Now there's nothing but desert left.
We all know what happened. The Darkson calamity happened. They say the Darkhairs used some kind of dark arts to burn the city. Left nothing but ash.
Uh-huh.
Can't see what kind of magic it used to burn up this much land, though. It's just crazy.
I don't know. Isara said that was a myth with no real historical evidence.
Look, their kind has been digging up Ragnite since forever. So who's to say they don't know some weird Darksony type way to use the stuff as a weapon? I'm just saying.
Anyway, as I was saying, we are in the middle of the Badlands. And what exactly are we doing here?
We've received some intelligence. They're saying the Imperials have set up a base near the Barious ruins. Squad 7 was sent out here to investigate. We need to verify the information.
Imperians here? Some sandbox to come play in. I don't get those Imperians. Who knows what they're thinking?
She's right. Something is definitely up here. I mean, I just can't figure it out, you know? Why would they occupy this place?
Enemy sighted! Tanks at 040, distance 800. Hold on. Yes, there are foot soldiers as well, and they're taking up combat positions.
Well, it looks like we found our bad guys.
Squad 7, combat formation.
Let's get it. But first, we want to know more about the other side.
I didn't think you could look any gloomier.
Oh, it's you. Leave me be.
No need to be unfriendly, is there? Is there something on your mind, Gregor?
His Grace, Maximillian. Barious holds no strategic worth. Why lead a force there himself?
He took Selvaria with him, so it probably has something to do with the Valkyrur.
His Grace places too much stock in the power of the Valkyria.
Maybe. But I can understand the fascination easily enough.
Fucking Gregor, have you seen what she's capable of?
They're
The
just
power of
going
the
on a
Valkyrur is enough to
date.
claim all
Don't
of
worry
Europa.
about it.
Maybe the entire globe.
Even without it, the Empire's military strength is quite capable of taking control of Europa.
The stronger you are, the shorter that road. I say let him be. My homeland's independence is riding on Maximillian's word. I need him to return to the court with enough clout to honor that deal. Relax. We'll hear all about their desert adventures soon enough.
Well, you know what Jaeger's fighting for.
The general clearly doesn't know what Selvaria's shtick is. He just sits around in his office all day and directs things.
He's fighting for Iris.
I'll show him an Iris. Battle
Fighting
of
for my
Barious
life.
Desert.
You will now be briefed on the operation.
The enemy spread out across the wide area of desert. You'll move out in the south, take them on. Along the way, you'll find the standing remains of ruins, which should make for good cover from enemy fire. Your objective is to claim the enemy base camp. There's a lot of distance to cover out there, and I recommend adding a long-range sniper unit or two. When you're ready to advance, though, the limited AP can mean they might fall behind. In such a case, move to the nearest camp. After clearing the area, enemies have to retreat. Then, after you advance, your units occupy the next enemy camp, you can redeploy them there. That'll speed them along. Swapping and leapfrog units via your camp should be a big help out there. You do well to remember it. Hey, have you played PT2 going into this? Yeah, you'll feel right at home here. Capture the enemy base camp.
Somehow, it's always this map that I think of whenever Valkyria Chronicles 1 is brought up.
Yeah, it's a very indicative of this game because it's the design is quite distinct. Snipers. Yeah, they should be a little bit better off since this is using this rebalance patch to give them a little bit extra speed along AP. Alright, let's go.
All right, we're set to begin. Good luck.
The enemy's spread out through the desert region. Squad 7, move out!
Pump and gun.
This place is really something else. I've never seen rocks with holes like these.
Fallia was saying those holes are the result of the same blast that scorched the area. There are furrows dug into the ground, too. Must have really been some explosion.
Are you serious? That's crazy.
Yeah, but those trenches and rock walls should make for solid cover.
On an open field like this, we'll use whatever we can get. Squad 7, move out!
So this the Barious Desert really is just the boonies out here. You're pretty much right out in the open against this long stretch of road. And yeah, you can very clearly see once you reach the top half of the map, it's basically no man's land. And you're just trying to duck and cover from getting through these trenches around here, which some of the enemies are taking hold in, and then just making beeline for the base camp. I believe there's an ace around here. And there's...
Man, I didn't...
Go ahead, Josh.
No, I was just gonna say, man, I didn't know they already remade FE4.
And there will be one other thing to take note of as we play along this map. So, okay. So the AP and the increased accuracy of the snipers should probably be better off than this typically is with snipers. Let's see it. Oh yeah, That's nice.
Stupid Imperials! Yes!
Yosh!
Just keep up this pace.
Once your snipers have taken a hit or two, feel free to have them go back into that cover so they are not sniped themselves on the enemy turn.
How many enemy snipers are out there right now?
Nothing personal.
Nothing personnel, Scout.
Sweet dreams.
Very cool. Also, during the last session, I actually found the damage calcs and all the stuff for a bunch of stuff regarding this game. Turns out I was on Gain FAQs the entire time, just on the forums, and pretty much since release, but they never published it into an FAQ.
Wow.
And yeah, I learned quite a bit from the damage calcs. There's quite a bit to ingest. Learned that interception fire, you do 10% less damage. Critical hits in this game are 3.5% damage with infantry hitting headshots. Infantry hitting anti-armor turrets is 2.9, and tanks crit damage modifier is 10.
Jeez.
Yes! Not counting any units that are special units that have resistance to it. The Edelweiss in particular also has the times 10 multiplier, but is reduced. I think the modifier is like 10 minus whatever crit avoid you have on your parts divided by 100, and then that's your new crit modifier. You also do increase damage depending on your height value, so if you're like at least like one zone above your opponent, you do 20% more damage. Two bits above, you do 40% more damage, and the reverse, you do 20 and 40% less.
All over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Basically.
I'll take care of it.
Camps boost your defense.
Our hero's in trouble now.
Based Vice. Cams boost your defense by 10%, and if the base cam boosts it by 15%.
Yeehaw! You're doing well. Just keep it up.
Successfully crouching reduces the damage you take by 20%. Crawling by 40%. Evasion reduces it by 70%.
All additive, so if you stack them, you actually regain health if they shoot you.
Seems about right to me.
I don't know if that's how math works, Christian. Just in general.
Okay, I'm on top of it.
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of stuff too. And most orders that boost stats stats by 40%. Except for like special case orders. Some of them boost by 50. And the super class orders boosted by, I believe, 80. And the ultimate class boost by 90% of that stat. Almost.
Dang.
Been waiting here.
Set
a reasonable pace to preserve your strength.
Cool.
Nice.
Hey, Zerinus, I'm doing alright for now. It's been kind of a rough week otherwise. Good.
Enemy unit neutralized.
Entering combat.
I'll risk moving the device. This is definitely a map where you gotta be very careful where you place the device, because one errant lancer round or tank round is gonna spell curtains for it, and you have to restart.
Fire!
Who are these guys?
Your wish is my command.
Moving group while backing you.
Forgive me.
Nice.
Nice.
Awaiting your command.
Just keep up this pace.
It's typically better than most of my first turns on this map, given that I typically miss my sniper shots. See anyone?
Minor damage sustained.
It's alright. It's not moving again.
Minor damage sustained.
The treads. Again?
Under minor fire.
Oh, this one's aggressive.
Under minor fire.
Now he has no ammo. I think we found the Sosuke Saga of the enemy units.
On the move now.
Way.
I see an enemy.
Come on, hit!
Side.
Continue firing.
Enemy spotted! The hunt begins.
Alright, let's see if you have better luck.
Nothing personal. Sweet dreams.
Target silent. Head for the next one.
As you were.
Leave it all to me.
Sorry.
I'll take point, guys. These paved roads always throw me. Yeehaw!
Target silenced. Head for the next one.
Doink, doink. There.
They're after me.
Let's do this thing. Ah, this place is a dust trap.
Yeah, she's part of the team's radius. I already have a lot of dudes that I'm rotating in and out. Squad 7 is like that.
That's what happens when they give you basically no deployment slots.
Tank over there. Two tanks just running roughshod.
Okay, I'm on top of it. Enemy sighted.
Please maintain focus out there.
Well, now that sniper's too far away from the camp.
Shock trooper.
Careful, you're headed towards a machine gun.
I see an enemy.
Hey.
I can do this.
Nice work. Keep taking them down.
That was pretty clean.
Here we go. Gotta love nature. Gotta love nature. Gotta love nature.
Son of a gun.
Stay sharp out there. Focus.
Something like that.
As you wish.
Use it as a mobile wall.
Yeah.
Wait to see what they'll do.
Dum-dum.
Thank you.
Actually, start the line or it's the boxes is in the way. Yeah, I can. Good. Don't question it.
We're headed straight for that machine gun.
Just watch this.
Clear a path.
You're done.
Worth a try.
Already got one lucky shot.
Move it out. Don't even think of dodging.
Those kind of bug me that they can't walk over, like, you know, crumbled rock on the ground.
Yeah. Do take the risk. YOLO! Yeah! Get him, Alicia.
Man down. Everybody be careful.
She's a born killer.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not talking much. It's fucking hot.
I'm sorry, Ron. It's actually quite chill in the house.
I will.
Lamau reinforcements canceled.
From over there.
Currently playing a game. I will stop once I've entered the final dungeon.
What you playing, Kris?
Kuro no Kiseki.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Alright, I was fully expecting Alicia to just pop from one of the tanks, but nope. She dodged one, the other blocked. Very good.
You know, I know it's the same composer, and I know I mentioned this before, but I can't not hear the FFT in this track.
Hitoshi Sakamoto's got a fingerprint, dude, when it comes to his OST. Distinctive.
Like, I feel like I should be fighting a Lucavi right now.
Been waiting here.
Infantry, move out!
Spotted an enemy.
Looks like the wind's really picking up.
Once you make it to the halfway point, this happens.
I suspect it's a sandstorm, Welks. These badlands are infamous for sandstorms, bad enough to drop visibility to 0.
I see. That'll make it tougher to spot the enemy until the storm blows over.
Yes, but the same applies to the enemy. Hiding within the
Who knows, man?
sandstorm is a valid tactic when crossing ground with no natural cover.
Good idea. Thanks, Ease.
The sandstorm started blowing.
Somebody go find the fighting type, knock out the Tyranitar.
So yeah, the sandstorm just suddenly blows in. This will affect sight lines as well as interception potential from the enemy. And this will, the sandstorm will persist every turn, and then you just kind of come in and out after that.
Does it affect accuracy at all?
Not in this game, no.
Thank God.
Afraid my gun is gonna melt.
Ah, heck. Do that again.
Been waiting here.
So yeah, I also learned that when you selecting a character multiple times for an action, the second action reduces you to 2/3 AP, third action reduces you to 1/3 AP, and any particular action after that reduces you to 50 AP.
I'll take care of it.
I think that's pretty close, actually, Dark Arrow.
I'm sure it's hot.
Go ahead.
I'll take care of it.
Do it again, Vice.
Whee! Our hero's in trouble now.
Ah, damn.
Oh,
Oof!
come on, Vice, you're better than that.
Leave it all to me.
Hey! Cutlass Fury!
I was always a fan of Rain of Swords, personally.
Rain of Swords is so cool. Just the way he says it. Would you believe the first time when did the LP of this, I hadn't actually like seen anything regarding Skies of Arcadia?
I actually didn't know that.
I think I remember you telling me that. You just knew he existed.
Yep.
You know, I have zero expectations, but with TGS coming up, there's a little speck in the back of my brain. It's like, maybe this is the year that they announce a port or something of it. But it's just the hopium talking.
That definitely sounds like hopium. Sorry, Josh.
Oh, I know, it's Sega. I don't expect anything from them.
Okay, I'm on top of it.
Trying to get to that corner over there.
Enemy sighted.
There's the ace.
Yeah.
Ace.
Nice.
Cool.
You know, they should have made this Skies of Arcadia reference here and done Zivlin Bane as the ace.
Oh, Josh! The madman! Look at this Silver Bane, though. Dude's everywhere.
Well, here's the I don't know if you know, they retconned it in Legends where they made it it's not the same person you fight over and over and over. It's different members of the organization each time.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I always thought it was just some rival treasure hunter that beat you to the place, you know. I am not a fan of that particular retcon.
Yeah, now that you told me that's significantly less cool.
There is a new super boss though in Legends that isn't in the Dreamcast version.
I did know that though.
Yeah.
Reinforcements. Okay. Pinpoint ball.
I'm kind of wishing that it did affect accuracy now.
I'm pretty sure I can sprint from here and I can make it.
Just watch this.
Take out this tank though. Anti-tank mine all the way out here. Like you're gonna drag the device all the way out here.
Especially, you know, I imagine the turn limit for this map in the original game is like 3 turns or something stupid.
I think it is 3 or 4. One of those.
I'll take care of it.
Don't give them time to think.
Take out this guy. Hi, hi.
Cool. Lamau.
Easy.
Operation complete. We took their base.
You get more experience and money with higher ranks, Super Bat. So basically, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer.
Well, that went pretty nicely. So what's exactly out here in these Badlands? Well, hey, what's going on here?
Huh? What's this supposed to be anyway?
That roof looks
What
like a hat.
weird place for something like this.
Actually,
There you all are.
Faldio.
Hey there, Faldio. I didn't know you were out here too.
I'm an archaeology major, remember? I was ordered to observe the ruins' interior.
The shape of it really is unusual. I've never seen anything like it.
I feel like I've seen it before somewhere. Where could it have been?
This building was supposedly erected millennia ago by the Valkyrie themselves.
So they actually existed then?
Yes, the Valkyrie make a sudden appearance in European history thousands of years ago. Records say they brought with them incredibly advanced technology and divine might. Then one day, their history just ends. The Valkyrie just disappeared.
I always thought they were just a myth.
That's it. I remember now.
Remember what, Welkin? What are you shouting about?
The Dread Nautilus. This structure looks just like a Dread Nautilus.
A dread nautilus? What's that?
You don't know?
Final Fantasy monster.
They're marine cephalopods. They live inside pointy spiral shells. And these ruins look just like that shell. I wonder if there's some connection there.
Suddenly it's an Adamantoise that just wakes up.
Welkin, you can be such a...
You Final Fantasy 15 fight.
What's up?
Yeah, oh man, Squad 7 versus FF15 Adamantoise. Sign me the fuck up for that, I do that.
Right, let's take a look inside then. We may find some clue to why the Empire is out here.
Meanwhile, Noctis and his bros end up in
I want you
Europa.
to come help Largo and me look around inside. Largo, Rosie, and Isara, you stay here. Be on the lookout for movement in the area.
Oh, that's gonna go great, Welkin.
All right, sir. Please be careful.
Jeez.
Tell me, Selvaria, do these walls offer an answer to our search?
I pray, where sleeps the ancient power?
What do you read, child?
Valkof, the Holy Lance, scorcher of the vast earth, asleep eternal in the bosom of Randrees. Made pillar of its keeper's keep, kept thereby for eon without end.
Then it's true. The sacred lance lies buried within Randrees' walls.
But your grace, how do you intend to control the lance once it is found?
Worry not. A beast fit to bear that burden will soon be at our disposal. With this, our dream is made hard fact. Our crown shadow will extend to all of Europa.
So this all sounds nice and ominous at first.
Chapter 7. The Battle at Barious.
Like when they're talking about, oh man, the sacred Valkof, and like it's just hidden within Rangres, and it's like, yeah, but how are you gonna control it? And then you just assume it's just some fancy lance. Well, it is fancy, but for an entirely different reason. If you don't know,
I'm just picturing Alexandria right now.
That's very true. Anyway, we've hit one of the roadblock maps of EC1.
Hello again, son. I'll teach you retreat today.
Alright, that was nice.
Use it to command an injured unit to pull out of combat. Well, What is your decision?
Yeah, retreat just immediately gets an infantry unit out of the map without having to be in camp.
Very good. I hope my orders can assist you in saving the nation.
Before they made it into just a default option, you can do an VC2 onward.
I hope we'll meet again.
A very good design decision.
You can likely find me here.
Hello, Welkin. Here to fine-tune your squad? Oh, and there have been some new recruits.
Knows this guy hates Welkin. And Omer, one of the trio, one of the goons. Okay.
Goon squad.
You can keep these.
Come back.
Oh yeah, it's the best character, the drill sergeant.
Get it done.
I got no use for tears. Sweat, sweat, sweat. Good work, maggots. You're one level closer to human. Okay, you've earned clearance for a new order. Put it to good use out there.
Yes, good, just in time, baby. All units defend. One of my favorites, in fact. Oh, sandwiches.
Good work, maggots. Come.
So orders, if an order boosts that stat by 10 instead of just like a 6%, and multiple versions of an order that boosts the stat sack.
So you can
Except
keep
in some
just
cases,
piling it on.
except in some cases, like the same order, like it doesn't stack, and I believe you can't have it with stack with a normal defense boost, but some other examples that are positive to that. Anyway, all units defend is very good because a flat plus 10 to all of your infantry units for 2 CP, amazing.
How much does defense mitigate damage by? In this?
It's flat. Just raw. If it's defense, it checks against versus personnel, right? And that's your damage value.
Okay.
All set for you, bro. It's done.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna go for tanks first. Oh no. Upgrade. Yes. Gonna play Tetris a little bit.
That shit case HD. It was a sideways block, right?
Yeah.
I was saying, no. Move the light blue one to under, move 2 of them over to the right side.
Okay.
There you go.
Bada bing. Very good.
Come back. Loads of money still.
Quite a bit.
Hey! Dropping by to read the writing on the wall? That's a good man. Oh, and how about the new rising star of Squad 7, huh? I've heard some wild stories. You must be proud. I couldn't...
Real shot heads Barious.
Couldn't help yourself, huh?
Nope. Gallia Federation talks begin. Gallian Prime Minister Borg. Consoles from Federation Ambassador Townsend. Hey, we remember Townsend, right?
Yeah.
That dude's everywhere.
He sure is.
Da 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 da! I've got new material.
Hey, Largo's mission.
Thanks a million.
See if we get palate cleanser.
Come back and see.
Report. Largo's passion.
Save. So what makes this big man tick?
I'm starving. Why do they call us here at lunchtime?
Ugh, you always get snippy the minute your stomach rumbles, Largo.
He needs the Snickers.
Sorry, guys. Have you been waiting long?
I could use a
I'll
Snickers.
get right to the briefing. You may already be aware of the recent hike in food prices.
I do remember one worker at the mess hall mentioning that produce prices were rising.
Apparently, the Empire has taken hold of the trade route farmers use to ship their stock.
What did you say?
Uh-oh.
Vegetable crisis grips Gallia. Not a very exciting headline.
You mocking the power of vegetables?
What? I was just... What's your problem?
Vegetables are like bombs packed tight with all kinds of important nutrients. Kids gotta eat them to grow up right, and the body's practically made of vegetables.
Which are like bombs?
In any case, Squad 7's next mission is to clear that trade route of Imperials.
All right, time to put the fear of veggies into these imps.
The fear of veggies? Is he serious?
Deadly serious.
Largo's just a big nerd, just like Welkin.
He
Bless
loves
Largo.
his vegetables. So yeah, it's time to do a side mission, vegetable root incident.
Some people love meat. Largo loves vegetables.
You will now be briefed on the operation.
This mission will be followed on the outskirts of Vassal. An enemy blockade has restricted traffic along this route. Fear of combat spilling over into civilian dwellings here prevents us from making this a large-scale operation. You'll have to leave your tank on the sidelines and lead a small force of foot soldiers into the village. Your objective is to destroy the 2 tanks standing on by the road ahead. You'll likely face heavy fire from those tanks if you just march along the road. It may be the long way around, but you're better off heading through the village and securing a spot to attack safely. I'm afraid we can't spare a medic to accompany a team as small as the one you'll be taking in. To compound things, this is a night op. You'll be dealing with less visibility than you're used to. There will be no sight line to targets more than a certain distance away, and you can't spot them in action mode. Consequently, if one of your soldiers falls in combat, you repel immediately mission failure. That's a lot of special conditions and requirements. Be extra careful as you plan each move out there. One final note, you won't have your tank's wireless set up, so you'll be able to issue any orders during the mission. Yeah, so here, have a whole bunch of shenanigans just piled on into one this stealth op. So we gotta destroy both tanks, and we can't. And if any one goes down, it's mission fail. So we have only 2 characters: Welkin as a scout, Largo is forced to come. You may as well just bring Alicia, or Rosie. The firepower might help actually.
I think Rosie is technically a little bit better here.
Yeah.
Because there's not a whole lot of ground to cover.
All right, we're set to begin. Good luck.
The one thing the maps don't really give you is a good scale of, or good sense of scale of how big they are.
Hmm.
The bastards blocking our veggies are here, ain't they? Let's bust some heads.
Shh, be quiet. You want them to hear us? This is a stealth operation with just a few soldiers. Lose anyone and the mission fails.
Yeah, I got it. Now let's go get violent for vegetables.
You want to work with me here, Largo?
So as it is, it's just basically scoots around along the back, over here, through around this way, and then once you get here, this is where the tanks are here, and this is where Largo is primed to just snipe them down. As it turns out, Welkin is definitely the most vulnerable here since he doesn't have much going for him as a base scout.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering why they even send him as a scout to this mission. Like, Largo and Rosie are like non-commissioned officers, basically. Alicia's second in command. Just make her the required unit instead of Welkin. I don't get it.
Just one of those VC things. It's gonna come up a lot. It's just one of those VC things.
So there's a dude on the right. Oh, by the way, there's mines here.
Oh yes, there are mines here! Thanks for reminding me, Ron.
Yeah.
Aces, or is there an ace on this map?
There might be, I'm not sure.
I want to say there is an ace, but I don't remember where it is.
So I think this is a good chance to intro this, because I didn't intro this the last time we played VC1. They have a Valkyria Chronicles World Art Book.
Yes, it's time!
Yeah. It's really cool because it's chock full of information on this game that you probably would have never known, or never want to know. And I'm here to tell you all of it. So let's start with Largo, since this is his map. It has a ton of info on him. Like, his gender is male. I would have never guessed that. He's age 36. He's 185 cm in height and 84 kg in weight. Convert that to what you will.
Thanks, Welkin.
He is born in a city in northern Gallia. He's a high school graduate, a sergeant, an anti-tank lancer, and his skills are using an anti-tank lance and melee combat.
Very specialized.
Yeah, his hobbies are vegetables, eating and farming, and he's a heavy smoker. His dream is to own a farm, and his habits is rubbing his nose with his fists.
Been waiting here.
Yeah, it's basically got his whole history here. I'm looking for some trivia. Here we go. Honcho Wrights actually did the art for this game.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. Well, you know, everything's plausible to you. And he has some notes. As with Rosie, I found Largo to be an interesting experience for me, as I usually don't work with characters like him. I can vouch for the fact that he is an extremely dependable sort, as he saved my skin a number of times when I was playing through the game. Honcho Wrights up. Yeah, right, Alex Largo. A middle-aged, muscular, dependable older brother type character. Now that I think about it, I probably could have made him a bit more macho. At any rate, I think he has a lovely smile, bright warm like the sun, without a hint of guile. That's right.
Let's do this then.
Also, Matt, sorry, we weren't ignoring you. I was waiting for the cutscenes to finish. I don't know if I can answer that. They're both cool.
Go down.
Oh, the next page is on spoiler character. Never mind.
Good work. Keep it up.
Let's see, I guess I can go over Rosie real quick. Although I'm not going to go over too much because she hasn't gotten her moment yet.
Yeah, there's big spoilers there.
Yeah. Let's see. So she's a female. She's 27 years old, 168 cm in height, and in weight 55 kg. She was born in a village near Galandio, and she's a middle school graduate. Her rank is corporal. She's a shock trooper, and her skills are marksmanship. Hobbies, music, and eating a lot. And her dream, well, I guess you can guess on that, but I'm not going to say it. And her habits are whistling and snapping her fingers.
Get back here alive.
Enemy sighted.
I remember having a lot of fun with this character, as she's the kind of personality that I usually work with. She is quite slender, and her breasts aren't very large.
Nature.
Thanks, right?
Here we go. But she still has a sexy aura about her. If I had to pick her most sexy figure, it would be her lips.
This man.
What a legend.
Unabashed. As we talked about this during the VC2 run. This man is unabashed, and God bless him.
Yeah.
Get out of here, nerd.
He's talking about a thing we haven't seen yet, so I'll leave that out. Welkin's here. I can talk about him a bit.
Been waiting here.
Safe. Having
Alright, Welkin. He's a male, 22 years old, 175 cm in height, and in weight, it's 71 kg. He is born in Brule. His education is the University of Rangiris Biology. And his rank is a lieutenant, he is a tank commander, and his skills are tactical command. But wait, he doesn't have tactical command as skill. Anyway.
That's okay. It'd just be the lame version where you can't use it after moving.
His hobbies are sketching, studying animals, and fishing. His dream is... we'll get to that later. And his habits are studying his environment, scratching the back of his head when thinking. And because Welkin is the main character, he has a lot going for him on his pages.
I'm on.
So... oh shit, Beta Welkin.
Beta Welkin is a character, I tell you a fucking what.
Dude, he looks like he's seen some shit. Let me find something, hang on. Here it is.
Here we go.
Check him out.
We're being sniped at.
Very nice.
I love nature. Enemy sighted.
Good.
Yes.
I realized that it doesn't seem to incorporate much of the World War II flavor. My bad.
My bad.
There are very subtle differences with Beta Welkin's design compared to what Final Welkin, but the differences are so distinct despite how the very subtle changes. They really just make him feel like a separate character altogether.
Boys, don't touch that stuff.
Dokkan.
This is an early design draft I did of Welcome. Some key details like the color of his hair and structure of his face haven't changed much since the stage. The map case on his left breast was a result of much thought and tinkering on my part in an attempt to define his character as a tank commander. Looking at this design, however, I realized it doesn't seem to incorporate much of World War II flavor. As Kris said, my bad.
Spotted an enemy. Put yourself in the enemy.
Yeah, there's a lot on this dude.
It's one medium tank.
Welkin has so much contact art, you can make like 5 different characters at least.
Sometimes it be like that.
Yeah. We tried many different ideas based on the premise that we wanted him to look cool, since he was the main character. But we also wanted his uniform to look something that might have really existed 60 years ago. Oh, we're done.
Hooray!
Operation complete. Both enemy tanks neutralized.
I feel like we took some serious detours before reaching the final stage, though I would certainly hope that we'd spend a lot of time getting the main character right. I'm not even sure if I should admit that the time we spent on Welkin was nothing compared to the time we spent on Alicia. Lol.
Oh man, Alicia. Compared to the shift, Beta Alicia it almost is like, woof, night and day.
That should end our vegetable shortage.
I ever tell you my old man's a farmer? Feels good to know I'm helping farm folk out. Growing up on the farm, I was always helping with the harvest, out there in the field. I'm serious when I say veggies are king, too. The more you eat, the healthier you get.
I agree. A lot of nutrients vegetables offer can't be found anywhere else. Plus, I feel like vegetables are a way to take in the power of nature as a whole.
Power of nature, huh?
Yeah. Plants grow by absorbing energy from the sun, the soil, even tiny microbes. Eating vegetables is like getting all that natural energy right from the source.
Never heard
Play this in a classroom.
like that before. I tell you, boss, you got your head on right. You got
Teach,
my
I
mark.
wanna watch Fortnite instead.
Thanks, Largo.
Shut
That
up.
means a lot to me.
What the
Hey,
Fortnite?
boss, let me tell you a stupid dream I have. My folks'
A
old farm
fortnight
went
is
under,
2 weeks.
and I want to start it
Ah, I
again
see.
as an organic veggie farm. Funny, huh? Big macho man goes from flinging bullets to being king of the carrot patch.
I'm not laughing. If you're dedicated, I'm sure you'll grow some fine vegetables. Once you're all set up and harvesting, you'll have to let me sample what you've grown.
Boss, you'd be welcome to eat all you wanted. But you'd have to help with the harvest. And out on the farm, I'm squad leader. Be ready for the workout of your life.
Oh boy.
I'm feeling good today. Veggies for all.
Everyone feast. So completing this mission unlocks Largo's hidden potential, Veggie Maniac. And there it is. Anytime he touches the bountiful earth, his love of veggies drives his parameters up. So it's just a general stat boost when he's on natural soil.
So he just gets basically Child of Nature ×2.
Yeah. Jeez. The range is much smaller, but that damage boost is huge.
By the way, that potential is going to be very useful in the next map.
Yes, in fact, very, very useful.
What? Trip.
Right.
Herp. Hop. Trip. What was that, sir?
Da-da-da.
Good work, maggots. Okay, you've earned clearance for a new order.
Ooh.
Huge.
Largo just feasting today.
Ooh, let's go! Damage boost, baby!
Come back anytime you're ready to sweat.
So damage boost is like the two orders that really helps infantry excel better in taking out anti-armor stuff.
I think one of my favorite things Kris has said in this playthrough so far is like, looks like I beat up the snipers. I was just waiting for him to say that again.
I'm gonna grab a snack. I'll be right back.
Okay.
That's a good call.
I am for that. To continue working on that deadline on the 20th, so, you know.
Let us begin Chapter 7. History unfolds as we enter the ruins.
Whoa. I don't know what I expected, but it really wasn't this.
Amazing, isn't it? I was surprised when I first came here, too.
There aren't any windows or skylights in here, but it's still so light.
Luminescence.
The ruins are made of stone with a high arachnite concentration. It lights itself.
It's uncanny.
The echo was uncanny.
Look at this. Something's written on the wall here.
It's in Old Northern script.
Old Northern?
It was the
That's what I
dominant
speak.
writing system in Europa. You still see it on the
Good, you
walls.
can translate for us then, Kris.
Do you know how to read it, Valkyr?
Sure, let me read here. Long ago.
We just covered it.
Anime bullshit. What could it mean?
Let's take a look. It's more or less a recounting of the Darkson calamity.
Go in a galaxy far, far away.
The Darksons unlocked some secret property of Ragnite and tried to conquer the continent. 100 cities raised its fell light, 100,000 men and beast therewith. It says this area used to be one of the cities lost in that purge as well.
So they did use Ragnite.
It was in the middle of that destruction that the Valkyrur suddenly came into the picture. Supposedly they rose to face the Darksons, armed with sacred lances, blue with flame. That became the War of the Valkyrur.
I had a picture book about that as a girl. But it's fiction, right? Like a fairy tale.
Ruins like these dot the European map, traces of the culture that once ruled the continent. The majority of the anthropological community now agrees that the Valkyrur did exist.
Anthropological.
Wow.
Animalogical.
The Valkyrur won and rose to power, while the Darksons were scattered across Europa. There are some who worship the Valkyrur as the saviors of Europa even today.
Those people are insane.
The Darksons got branded with the stigma of their past and were persecuted.
Anybody who follows a cult is.
As we see later on in this series, pretty much anyone who worships the Valkyria like that are clinically insane.
With no land of their own, they had to work as itinerant laborers and Ragnite miners.
Which is why there are so many Darksons still working in the industrial sector today.
I never knew that. Come to think of it, Isara's dad was an engineer, wasn't he?
Anyway, that's enough history for today. Let's keep checking for Imperial tracks.
Aight. Did you want to know more about why the Darkson caused boo-boos?
I've been looking, but I still ain't seen nothing but sand. Those imps got some strange tastes if they're sunning themselves out here. What's got you, Rosie? Ain't like you to be so quiet. You got the runs or something?
You're foul, Largo. And I'm just annoyed. Takes some kind of brass to blow up a chunk of turf this big, don't you think? Looks like the dark hairs have been bad news for the rest of us folks since day one.
What do you mean by that?
What do you think I mean?
No archaeological proof exists to support the theory that Darksons destroyed Barious.
Look around! How much more proof do you need?
And it's an unfair generalization to assume that all Darksons cause trouble for others.
You saying you don't? Look, it's 'cause of you people that my whole...
All right, time out, you two.
You stay out of this, Largo!
We're on patrol here. You keep squawking, and we're likely to get sniped. You too, kid. You know Rosie's got a temper on her. She wouldn't go off if you didn't talk back.
Victim
I
blaming.
don't believe anything I've said is untrue.
Stubborn as mules, both of you.
Women, am I right? Shut up, Largo.
Jesus. Jeez, I'm crow. Let's go back inside then, shall we?
They have the power of spiral.
Spiral?
What is that?
Spiral energy?
It's called the Valkyrian Spiral.
Okay, so what is it?
When 1 million people walk this
I was
planet.
talking about their power before.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
Something pierced the heavens.
On their relief carvings are said to represent inexhaustible power.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Still, we haven't seen any Imperials here. Not even any signs of entry.
A lot of this Valkyrie imagery just hits a lot different now that I'm versed in Gurren Lagann knowledge.
I guess it's possible that this wasn't what brought the Empire out here.
Well, the others are waiting. Let's go back.
Sure, let's go.
Huh?
What, eh?
What in the...
Alicia, what just happened?
I don't know. I barely even touched it and this door just opened.
Power of Spiral.
Looks like it keeps going.
I guess she must hit 130 well.
An underground
I pressed the button where it says press here to open. I don't know what happened.
Should we go in?
Do you have to ask?
All right, let's take a look.
Man, they're about to feel real awkward in a second. First contact. I quite like this cutscene.
Whoa. What is this place?
It seems like it goes on forever.
This FF9 ass music, by the way.
Wow, look at this wall. Amazing.
Makes you think we're in Ibsen's castle.
There are engravings everywhere.
That's me when I see a wall.
What are they saying? I'm
not sure.
Wow! Look at
I
this
can
wall.
tell you, they're too ancient for me
Look
to
at
decipher.
this wall.
Push.
Wow, rude.
Welkin, we're not alone.
Speaking of Final Fantasy IX.
Who's there?
This is just the spiral staircase in Alexandria Castle.
Well, how surprising to find
For
you
Mortar,
here.
you're not
We
alone.
don't get many visitors. I won't ask how you were able to break in. It's not really important. But you defile this sanctum with your presence.
Guys, that's Maximillian.
Maximillian? Wait, but he's the enemy commander.
He's the final boss!
Hold it right there! You take one more step and I'll shoot you down, I swear I will!
You are approaching me?!
What?
Lower your weapon. Your lives are worthless to me, but I do not wish to stain this sacred place with blood. If you are determined to have this confrontation, why don't we settle it outside?
Welkin.
Or in Smash. I'm open to either.
So,
But I warn you,
you're the
I am a
who's
Falcon,
responsible. My compliments for the Vassal Bridge and the base in Cloden. You quite impressed Jaeger, who was singing your praises, boy. Selvaria, come.
So,
Now's our chance to take out their commander.
She's right, Faldio. Let's go.
Right.
Sure,
Baldio's
I
like,
guess.
I'd
I don't
rather
have anything
explore.
better to do.
Super.
I mean, I guess this is my job.
I'm sorry, anyway. Welcome to, this map. This map sucks. You have a decent time coming in, and then, with this game, and then they just hit you all at once with Desert Duel with Maximillian.
Time to throw hands.
It's unique.
Let me catch you up on the current situation.
This fucking unicorn-ass map.
This fucking unicorn-ass map. The enemy commander Maximillian is making for our base camp aboard a massive tank. It is imperative that you stop him before he reaches us. Your objective is the destruction of that giant tank. It is equipped with machine guns on both sides, so brace yourself for a merciless reception as you approach. Keep your distance when possible, and use your tank and lancer to take out those machine guns one by one. It also has a large caliber cannon on both fore and aft ends that cannot be destroyed. Their range is as you see here. It will fire anything that stops in the range depicted. Keep your tank and troops clear of them if you want to live. So, we lose if the base camp down there is destroyed by the Batomys, which is the name of the enemy tank here. Rushes over it and crushes it, which it will do in guaranteed 9 turns if you don't stop it. So we have to destroy it.
There really is no safe zone around that tank.
Nope. Absolutely not. So yeah, bring Lancers. You're gonna want them. Smokes if you got them. Bring them all.
If only we had the damage boost order.
Hey Ray, I just remembered. I have this crucial piece of advice, and I'm trying to remember if I'm right about this.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure when you go for the sinks, you want to go for the left first.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, thank you. Otherwise, you're in for a bad time.
Yeah,
our left or its left?
It's.
Okay.
I remember because its left side is going to be facing the ruins, and someone comes in near the ruins.
That's correct.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
I'll bring Lynn. Claudia, on this end. Only ring snipers if they're feeling extremely confident.
You'll commence combat now. Stay sharp out there.
That tank is our target. We have to stop it. Squad 7, move out!
Now, dear Gallians, flee or be crushed underfoot of the Batomys.
Your Grace, I will eliminate the forces east of the temple, then return to provide support.
Very well. Though I doubt I shall require your assistance. The Batomys shall rest atop their riven camp before long.
Welkin, take a look at that tank.
Holy. With armor like that, I don't figure my anti-tank lance will do much good.
And I don't like the look of that cannon. Standing in front of that thing's a bad idea.
Let's watch and wait for now. It has to have some kind of weak point.
So, Maximillian, he's a dude that does not take half measures. He likes to make a big entrance, and boy howdy, none bigger than this right away with the Batomys, which is stupid kitted right now. It's just this walking fortress right now.
How do you like your tanks? Big. Oh,
I
like.
can't believe it has 6 Gatling turrets just strapped onto it.
Yep.
Like
So,
a heavy tank?
I wish I could tell you the stats, but I don't know them off the top of my head, or the turret, or the Batomys itself. But right now, it cannot be harmed by anything. You can only damage the turrets. Anything else will just bounce off of it. It is immune to other fire. We can see here, we can see the turrets along the side ends are Gatling turrets that have decent accuracy and good versus personnel, and have 400 defense. And also it is guarded by radiators, which will become vulnerable after a point. So, main thing is you want to try, it's going to be moving automatically every single turn, and it's going to, you need to slow it down, basically. So, what you want to do is lure it out first,
Entering
like this.
combat.
You see this wall? We're gonna have to blow it up, knock it down. This will once you get past it, Batomys will take a turn to fire at it, and then it'll become vulnerable to attack after that.
We don't know what that thing's got. Be careful.
Turn around carefully, because if you're still in the range of the Batomys, it will still use its main cannon to fire, but it will not be vulnerable to attack unless it
Please stop that tank from breaking through.
gets slowed down. So until then, you're gonna try your best to take out the turrets as best as you can. More the better. Because that'll just help with the interception thing. And good thing we learned this.
This is an order! All of you, focus on defense!
So there's also a random token force of dudes right here that are just gonna like provide covering fire for the Batomys and just this random sniper. Some of them, this scout in particular, will try and gun for the main camp, so you're gonna have to cut off the pass before long.
Can you retreat one of your guys and deploy him at the main camp, since you own the main camp?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Actually, I think I'll have to do that with Lynn.
Been waiting here.
So I'm waiting for my order to come by. And once it does, I will start talking about the Batomys.
Target silenced. Head for the next one.
Because this World Art Book actually has... Oh!
Base.
Yeah. It actually has information on weapons and tanks and machinery.
Nice.
Which is nice, yeah. I'm very impressed.
Roger that.
But yeah, essentially this is Lancer Heaven.
I mean, this is like the one map where they're actually like legit good for casual players in.
Yeah. Fortunately, the Batomys is still incredibly dangerous, even with all the Lancers in the world.
Please neutralize that oversized tank.
You sure?
Why not?
Hit, please.
Eh, let's try. Here to the left.
Yes.
Taking action now.
Yeah, I'm gonna treat Lynn and put her on the main camp, just in case they try something funny. And for me, descend.
I'm on.
Don't let that tank through.
my words and no victory. Loose your fire, men! Annihilate our enemies!
Maximillian also has all units attack as an order, which he will commonly use to start off his turns.
Does that effectively counteract your all units defend?
Yeah, it basically neutralizes it.
Nice.
Oh, my food's here.
Miss.
Here I come.
Oh, good, countered.
Swiss cheese.
Wrong number.
Nice last second dodge.
I guess you didn't have to worry about the scout.
Yeah, that went better than I was expecting it to be.
Maybe I realized that you sent reinforcements over there and it wasn't worth even going for it.
Here we go!
Enemy unit sighted at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Alright.
Hit this ruined wall to knock it down.
Be wary of a possible ambush.
Open. Alright, so the Batomys.
All of you, focus on defense!
Good call, good call. So there's a bunch of stats that I'm not going to read over. I'll just read over details.
Just watch this.
This giant tank.
Vegetables!
Every time. This giant tank has been known to carry Maximillian, the Commander General of the Imperial forces. Maximillian took a tank specifically designed for laying siege to castles and fortresses, and added his own upgrades to create the Batomys. The main body was reinforced, and the Ragna cannon was installed. Batomys played an important role in taking up Gallia.
What's that? It has a moonstone cannon?
yeah, I kind of thought that too. You can tell that they have some inspirations from Skies of Arcadia, actually.
Overworks, baby.
Because this almost reminds me of a battleship on a smaller scale.
Watch this.
Alright, cool.
I was gonna say it reminds me of the Hydra just a little bit.
I got
Yeah,
one.
kinda.
Just birds of a feather here, huh?
Once it gets around there, this camp is about to go. By the way, so time to leave.
Oh yeah. This massive tank sits at 20 millimeter in length. I might be actually wrong on that.
Yeah, it's like
a man, honey.
20 M? What do they mean by M?
20 meters?
Probably. In length, and 245 tons in weight. No, that's right.
Chunky boy.
but the mighty size and weight of this tank aren't the most impressive features. Despite its physical bulk, Batomys is capable of speeds up to 30 kilometers per hour.
Is everybody all right?
Pretty fast.
Yeah. And it is this surprising mobility that makes it such a considerable threat. Batomys boosts uncanny off-road capabilities as well. It can keep up with even the most mobile infantry on uneven terrain to participate in charges of the enemy line. Oh jeez, Hector.
You're going down.
You're getting crossfired right now.
Now I'm set for another round.
Good proc of extra shot, actually.
Is everybody all right?
Oh, Hector is probably one of the best guys for this, to be honest.
I'll try my best. Honestly, I'd rather just stay home.
Mood, Claudia, but we need you to be out. Out.
Keep your heads down.
Right over here. So you don't see it from this angle, but
Capturing a camp is for the feeble.
yeah, it just the moment it runs over the camp, the flag immediately goes down.
A needless bother when it can be crushed outright.
He's just gonna mow our camps down.
They don't really have events like this in other Visa games.
That desert is covered by parts of standing ruins. If you shell unstable walls, fragments may fall and block the enemy's tank progress.
Roger that. I'll give it a try.
The team east of the temple is in bad shape. Some woman is sending up some major fireworks. At this rate, they'll be forced to withdraw.
I understand. We'll try to hold our ground here. All right. Let's slow that behemoth down with as much rubble as we can throw in front of it.
Listen closely.
Rosie, you're up.
Information could save your life.
Damn. So now we have the information to slow the Batomys. So yeah, here's where the information comes where destroying the toppling ruin walls can help in bringing it down. One is already knocked down, that's the one immediately in front of the Batomys, which will now fire on this turn. So this is just to let you know that this is how you're meant to damage it. Also, yeah, don't have any units be in the way of a wall if it's capable of being knocked down, because then it will not be knocked over.
No.
Ouch.
Don't fail me now!
Oh. Curse you. Yeah, that's what I thought. Sit down, kid. Look what's right there. Miss. Again. And dodge.
Go down.
In range for counter.
Ugh. Just needed one more.
Hector.
Okay, so Welkin's in a good spot right now. The third blow will come a little bit later, so I don't have to worry about moving him right now. This Lancer is basically scuffed, and as long as we can destroy these turrets, we should be golden.
Be We got plenty of CP to do it.
Got plenty of time, so I will go over another machine. And that's the good old Edelweiss.
Yeah!
Yeah. The Edelweiss. That's a bunch of stats I'm not going to go over.
All of you, focus on defense.
But I will say, this tank was designed and created by Isara's father, Professor Tamer. It features many new technologies, such as the turret with full rotation capabilities, and the automated loading device built into the turret. The tank performs its full potential with only 2 operators. Welkin is the tank commander and turret operator, while Isara acts as the driver and communications officer. Despite the fact that this tank was designed immediately after EW1, European War 1, I suppose.
Yeah.
It has many features that were not commonly seen until much later, including the slopping armor? Okay. Even as a prototype, Edelweiss proved itself to be one of the most powerful tanks ever created. As all prototypes usually prove themselves to be high Gundam.
Super prototype, that's the trope, you know.
Unfortunately, all of the new technology that went into its design caused the cost of manufacturing this type of tank to rise, and it was never approved for mass production.
Hey, that really sounds familiar.
Gundanium alloy?
Titanium.
That's the thing with prototypes. They usually have, you know, when you build stuff, you build it with the highest specs, and then you gotta scale it down for mass production. So it makes sense that prototypes are stronger.
They are. You start big and then you go smaller. The basic appearance of Edelweiss can be seen below before all the additional equipment was loaded on. While tanks are used, main used. This is kind of awkwardly written, but okay.
Mainly used, maybe?
Mainly used as weapons, Edelweiss also provides all the equipment hauling services of a cavalry horse. You can see that the Edelweiss's treads were bare at the front initially, but covers were attached to them later on. One of the main features that makes the Edelweiss stand out from other tanks,
almost one-shot that one.
Nice, of the time is the slopping armor, which allows for more smooth and smart appearance.
Orders from the boss. You're birds of a feather here, huh?
And I will read off this anecdote from Tabayashi. The image of a flower was something that Isara drew on the Edelweiss. It seems to share a natural artistic talent with her. She seems to share a natural artistic talent with her brother, though they aren't actually siblings like blood. The plaque on the right engraved with the names Belgian, Tamer, Isara, and Welkin. The year on there shows that the plaque was a recent addition and was most likely part of Isara's preparations for the coming war. She's proud of her dad's work.
Just should be.
Hey Rick, can you imagine Isara in a Gundam?
Yes. Be still my beating heart.
Like, my father made the Gundam and now I will pilot it.
Isara in a Gundam is Pull 2 in the Psycho Gundam Mark II, but successfully converted to an ally that fights for the Aeug.
Everybody'd have it easier with you gone. You're going down. Okay, now I'm set for another round.
Man, imagine if that worked like Lavinia's potential in 2, where you just got to take the shot immediately.
Yeah. Bloodthirsty. The only character in this game that has Bloodthirsty is Musad.
definitely not the best character to have bloodthirsty though.
Yeah, any other character that has similar ones are going to be learned through as their final potential. Typically, shock troopers.
Heed my words and no victory.
Who are you using this on, Maximillian?
Annihilate our enemies.
No.
And would you look at that?
There we go.
That main cannon is lethal. There must be a way to stop that thing.
Welks, look at that.
What are those? They're sticking up out of the top of the tank.
They're radiators, heat sinks for dissipating the temperature of the Ragnite fuel cell. They must be using them to cool the cannon after firing it. Welks, if we destroy them, it could greatly upset the tank's function and stability.
All right, let's try it. We just need to get to those radiators after the cannon fires.
They're positioned atop the tank, so ground units will need to climb the ladders.
Okay,
now that's
we've got
pretty
to take
cool.
out the guns and get troops onto that tank.
So once the main cannon fires, the radiators become vulnerable for attack, but only for that turn. So you have to work quickly.
For those of you playing along at home, I highly recommend going for the heatsink on the left side of the Batomys. That is all.
That is all. This one.
Do you need to knock out all three?
Yes, you need to knock out all three, but once you destroy one, the rest become hidden again.
They lock down the generators until it fires again.
I asked that earlier, Dark Arrow.
Yeah, Ron means take out this one at first. The one on
it's
left.
Yeah.
It's left. So you can either use Lancer Fire or an infantry's grenade to one-shot the radiator. It's really had like bad luck with these. I'll give it a try. You meant to just like chuck it in.
There you go. What?
I think you flew over it.
Yeah, see what I mean? I have bad luck with this stuff.
So good.
It'd be nice if it showed you like the full trajectory, like when you're using grenades in XCOM.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Or you know, you could like, it could lock you in exactly where you needed to.
Yeah, especially if you're like targeting it. That would have been smart.
There we go.
I mean, yeah.
That leaves 2 radiators. Keep it
Can you
up,
just leave
Sevens.
units chilling on top of the battleship tank?
Lieutenant, Squads
No.
1 and 3 have suffered heavy losses.
Yeah, once it starts moving and adding new units on, it gets immediately knocked off.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah.
You don't get run over, but you still get knocked off.
She had a spiral lance and shield. They were the arms of a Valkyria, Welkin. It's likely her unit will be arriving.
You
in
just
the
saw her.
as backup.
You know who it is.
Do not, I repeat, do not engage her. Now hurry up and stop that tank.
Understood. We need those radiators out now, Sevens.
I'm on a roll.
Yeah, I'll get right on that, Welkin.
Give us a little bit, eh? By the way, getting hit by the Batomys' main tank, it really is probably one of the worst attacks we're suffering at that. It'll two-shot the Edelweiss. That's how strong it is.
Yeah.
Your Honor, death.
Not only that, it's one of the only attacks in the game where we get to actually hear Welkin's major damage quote.
Let's go over some Let me see some minor characters in this game. So basically, most of your squad.
Here we go.
So question, Ray. Since Miss Valkyria is going to be coming in from the east, is the shock trooper at the main camp safe?
Sometimes it sometimes depends on if some of the dudes from there will be cheeky enough to target the main camp or not. Sometimes not. Sometimes yes. Typically, Selvaria or Self will not go for it.
By the way, I say minor characters, but the first page I see for your squad mates is Edie, and she has a whole page to herself.
Naturally.
So good for you, Edie. And then after that, we got Homer, and we got Mina, Gina, and Fina. There are 3 of them in this game.
Yeah, the medic triplets.
Mm-hmm. It just wasn't right for Ica and Vice to show up when Fina wasn't included, so we snuck her in there as a medic, which seemed to be the most natural way to include her. Seeing the Arcadia team members milling relentlessly in the background during a mission briefing was a bittersweet memory. Aww.
Sad.
Let me see if I can find the other 2.
You got it, hon.
These pages are sticking together. Oh, here we go. See, there's Alex Raymond. There's Kevin. There's Kobe.
My turn, okay?
This feels like you're positioning people next to markers in Final Fantasy XIV.
Right.
What is that giant thing?
Actually, Alex has a special anecdote. Since Alex was supposed to be hanging out with the Skies of Arcadia characters, I wanted to make him a strong enough character that he wouldn't seem out of place standing with the likes of Vice and Ica. I think I was able to inject a lot of energy into his appearance with his strange mesh. There's actually a story behind his name as well. Alex was the team name of the project team behind Skies of Arcadia. That's kind of neat.
Interesting.
Super coincidentally, both Alex and Vice are voiced by Roger Craig Smith in the English version.
So yeah, we got Kevin, we got Kobe, we got Salinas, we got Haynes, we got
My turn now.
Mika.
I just need to get out of the way.
No, there's Vice. Since Vice was originally a main character, I did struggle quite a bit to water him down enough to make him a convincing sub-character. I had assumed he'd be 24 by this time he appeared in this game, but apparently he's going to be 17 forever. They tried. He's still 2 main character.
I'll do my very best.
Oh, his age even lists 17. That's so funny. There's Lynn. I'll talk about Lynn later. There's Wendy. There's Aisha. There's Jane.
I'd have it easier with you gone.
I guess I could talk about Jane since I picked her. See. She had her own flower shop in Brule, but it was destroyed during the Imperial raid. This is the source of Jane's hatred for the Empire. The more battles she participated in, the more she came to enjoy killing Imperial soldiers.
We call that a blood name.
Yep, as her addiction to killing grew, she always made sure that she was at the forefront of every charge. After the war, well, we'll get to that later. Personally, I like dangerous women like Jane. She was once a kind and gentle young lady with a flower shop, but the destruction of her precious flower shop twisted her face into the mask of hatred that you see now. At least that's what I tell myself. Jane's key feature is the pale purple colorization of her lips, which makes it look like there is no blood running through her at all. I half regret picking this character, but I don't regret it at all, actually.
Oh.
There you go. You can pick which one, Ray. I recommend the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the back.
Okay. There's Dorothy, there's Nina, there's Mossad, there's Hermes, Melville, Ted, Wavy.
There's a lot of CP.
Yeah, we have a lot of CP to burn now.
There's Leonard, there's Notes, there's Nancy, there's Ramona, your girl. With her sharp fashion sense, Ramona used to work as a model for the popular magazine known as the Gallian Girl before joining the militia. She has an obsessive interest in everything that's in and cool, so she's constantly sneaking out of her house whenever her parents were looking to visit shopping districts in town. I wasn't sure how to design a character who was into clothes and fashion, so I basically tried to make her look like those models you've seen in magazines. I can totally see Ramona, Francia, and Sherry hanging out together.
Take a good look at your surroundings.
There's Susie, there's Francia. There's Juno, there's Cherry, there's Aika.
Son of a bitch.
Let's see. Aika hails from a distant land and has traveled much of the world with Vice. She has known Vice since childhood and can't help but stick her nose into his business all the time. The more Aika feels, yeah, the more Aika feels like she's trapped in a corner, the stronger she seems to be. She is a bright and cheerful girl, but is scared of ghosts and bugs. Eventually, Aika left Gallia alongside. Bit too far. One of the characters making a guest appearance from Skies of Arcadia. I feel her hairstyle just acts as a massive bullseye on her head when she's trying to scout around. But as a heroine of her own game, her character is quite solid.
Once the second radiator is destroyed, this happens.
Oh, baby.
Lord Maximillian.
Cobalt flames of the Valkyrur. Smite our foes!
Super Saiyan Blue.
There stands Gallia! Claim her!
My name's Selvaria, and I'm here to party.
You don't know the half of it.
Backup troops have arrived. If the reports are true, we can't beat it. Everyone, focus on that last radiator.
So, here comes the reserve forces. They are barreling down the right side. So, a bunch of dudes, including the Ace, Canazar the Lion, and Selvaria. So, Selvaria's stats are also hidden. I did actually look at some of her stats, but as much as well as I could. So, Selvaria is a super scout. She's just jacked with Valkyrie power. She has 20,000 HP, and she has a anti-infantry beam lance, which has like 9 shots, which does about, I think each hits like somewhere around like 10 to 12 to 15 versus personnel, somewhere around there. She doesn't use the big beam cannon in this map, thank God, because it would shoot through your tanks real quick. If you attempt to do any damage to her, she will always dodge the attack, which is displayed by her using her shield to block it, and so she pretty much takes 30% damage always, and even if you stockpile damage onto her, she regens all of her health at the start of every turn, so...
Boy, I love low guts.
So yeah, stay away. Stay very far away from her. You can try to go for the aces if you want. The rest will just come to you, but stay far away from Selvaria.
Is it worth trying to like retreat one of your units and call on a sniper and snipe the ace?
Yeah, it is worth a try. Yeah.
You want to wait for Selvaria to leave before you do that.
Okay.
Because she will run to the tank.
They're gonna have so much CP next turn.
Yep. Yeah, Selvaria, Honjo Raita's favorite character in this game.
Yeah, she is the poster child for Valkyria Chronicles for good reason.
Also, my guilty pleasure character, but that's neither here nor there.
for several good reasons.
For two very good reasons.
Anyway. Alright, so we got Ike. I just finished her. Got Scarecrow here. We got Jan Walker. I'll go over him later. We got Nils. We got Theod, I guess. Yeah. We got Hector. I like Hector. We got Walter. We got Audrey. We got Rosina. We got Yoko. We got Elise. We got Newt. We got Herbert. We got Carl.
Entering combat.
I like
I'm
Carl.
gonna move the Edelweiss to the main camp.
We got Dallas, Ramsey, Gordon Ramsay, Nadine, we got Claudia, Emil, Oscar, Cesare. Fuck that guy. I love that sound effect.
The sound that would inject the fear of God into you, and at the same time just makes you feel fuzzy, warm and fuzzy inside every time you hear it.
We got Marina. I'll go over her later. We got Catherine, and that's it for all the squad mates. I didn't go over most of them because, unlike VC2, most of them aren't that interesting.
Yeah, my turn. Yeah, this game really suffers from not having squad stories like every other game.
Yeah. There are some standouts like Vice and Co, but yeah. Let me see if I can find Selvaria, actually.
Oh, I found her.
Oh, there she is. Yeah, there she goes. Alright. Oh, bye, Largo. I'm surprised she didn't kill anyone else.
Not yet.
They got a lot of CP to work with, though.
Oh, now she will. Bye, Hector. Ooh.
Sorry.
Fucking Jan next to the both of them, all like,
Danger, danger, death the crisis.
Death the crisis. Alright, Selvaria. Let's see. She is female, fucking duh. She's age 22. She's 175 cm, and her weight is 50 kg. Origin, don't worry about it. Education, don't worry about it. Rank Colonel. Duty, Commander of the Invasion Force, and her skills are Tactical Command, among other things. Her hobbies, don't worry about it. Her dream, don't worry about it. Habits, don't worry about it. Let's see, what can I talk about? Jeez.
Oh, the ace is moving.
Yeah, he is.
That's rare.
Here's her design work. Right. The female enemy officer that looks sexier in her military uniform is such a classic archetype. I had a lot of fun designing Selvaria. The images below are details of her equipment, which is possibly the part that gave me the most trouble. Still, I enjoyed myself. Her folded sleeves and purple wrist that peeks out from behind her glove is almost falling. That's almost falling off for almost a couple of key features. Ball. On your white, right? He was very tame that time. Let's see what else he has to say. In Valkyria Chronicles, the player constantly battles their way through through early on, but then Selvaria shows up and gives him a hard time. As Selvaria is the first real Valkyrian that the player sees in the game, I drew this piece to summarize an impression that the Valkyria should give, and to get everyone on the team on the same page for development purposes. And you obviously cannot see this image, but it's basically her doing the Kamehameha from her lance. With Kamehameha, sorry.
Does Selvaria's beam spear have intercepting fire?
Yes.
Yeah, her Gatling has interception fire, and it covers a big distance too.
She will all... Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so the second you try to like tag your fallen friends there, they're just gonna die.
Well, the thing is, Jan is literally right next to them, so I think he'll be fine.
I can use all units defend, and they should be able to shrug it off just in time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look at that! They actually spent all of their built-up CP.
Oh, here's the money shot. Here we go. Early on, we had plans for a scene in the game where Selvaria would be wearing her swimsuit, but the idea didn't make it to the final game. A pity, as Selvaria has a body that's pretty much made to be shown in a swimsuit, lol. I would have enjoyed drawing the art for such a scene. Afterwards, I did get the chance to draw Selvaria in her swimsuit for the figures, and I can't tell you how happy that made me. The design of her swimsuit heavily incorporates the look of her military uniform, so I think it suits her character quite well. On your right, up.
Unabashed.
He knows what he likes, dude.
Focus on defense.
And that's it for Selvaria for now.
For now.
For now.
Alright, tag both. Get him up, get him up.
Oh, baby.
I hear it.
Yeah, I heard
The
it too.
fear of God.
No longer, almost there.
How could this happen? How could...
You're not done.
Miss Medic!
Stay with us. It won't be long now.
Largo, honey, no! Don't go!
Run.
Come out and fight like a man, honey!
Oh, so nice of you to bunch up in a formation.
Nice to be able to hit one of them.
Yeah. I wish those rifles had splash damage, but that's what the other weapon is for.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So the ace is over there.
Help! Help! Help!
Nice.
I'm on a roll.
Man down, everybody be careful.
Honestly, I'd rather just stay home.
Stay there.
I think all things considered, we're actually looking decent.
Yeah.
Taking action now.
I'm gonna have Lynn take off the Lancer. Go back.
Don't get spooked, soldiers. Follow me.
Here goes. Taking action now.
Nice. A little bit of chip damage.
I would be ashamed to waste good cover.
Good.
Orders from the boss.
Adios, Ace.
I
run in this trench here. So that camp's about to fall.
Moving out.
Get out of here, fam.
Hostile sighted at 2 o'clock.
Let's do this thing. Ain't no stopping me.
Hey.
No unnecessary.
He'll get bulldozed off, but I'm banking on him going to the left of him being knocked over. That way, Selvaria will be less inclined to go for him.
I'm on. Ain't no stopping me. Go down.
The disrespect headshot.
Disrespect.
The enemy could.
I think Jan will just be knocked out of the way.
Okay. Hopefully this works.
Heed my words and no victory. Loose your fire, men! Annihilate our enemies!
So that's bad because that affects Selvaria.
Well, it's not like people were gonna survive her anyway.
Yeah, he's just in cover still. Unless she actually just goes around to snipe from the back.
I win. Oh, nice.
Get in!
Let's go!
Again. Get in!
Let's go!
3 for 3.
Waste that CP. Or just don't use it.
Alright,
So this
baby.
is why I recommend it going for the sink on the left, because she will always be on his left.
Yeah.
On your left?
Alright, resupply those guys.
I can do this all day.
Left. I thought you said left.
Stay here. Stay here.
Is it worth popping orders and just like leaving everybody where they're at, or?
I'm gonna leave everyone where they are. I'm pretty sure all units defend wears off as soon as I end my turn.
I would almost evac Lynn, to be honest.
You might be able to bait more shots from Selvaria and dodge.
Yeah, I actually want her to stay there so she can draw fire from her.
That's true. That's good. That's a good plan.
Flat.
Oh! You lived! I lived, bitch. spoke too soon.
That's still great. She took 2 CP from her. Just sliding down. Oh, by the way, you've won.
Yeah, as soon as we blow up the last sink.
Just gotta get the hero of the map, Claudia, in there to go 3 for 3 with grenades.
Oh man, she's clutched it out super hard. Let's see this turn.
This is an order! All of you, focus on defense!
I'll try my best.
Bingo.
No.
All right! That's the last of the radiators! Ah! Presumptuous little vermin.
Your Grace, are you all right?
Fine. The tank itself is perfectly intact, though not for long at this rate.
Understood. I'll be there momentarily, sir.
You're literally right beside him.
The enemy tank has been damaged. That should also impair its defenses, Sevens. Everybody, concentrate fire on that tank. Take it down!
Batomys is now vulnerable to damage. Let him just. It's still a very sturdy, heavy tank. So, smokes you got him. Throw everything you got at it.
At this point, you should have enough CP to one-round it.
You've been stacking up like I have. You can do this in one turn.
Oh yeah.
This is an order! Hurting them means us surviving. Be merciless!
Just watch this.
Barker's coming back for revenge.
Provide the squad some cover fire.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter where you hit, just attack.
Don't let that tank through.
I'm on my way.
Does the damage boost wear off after one attack?
It stays until the turn's over.
Out of range. You're going down.
Thanks, Ride.
Dead on!
Man,
Bullseye!
that revenge stream was something else.
That was so good. Man, I learned so much just watching that game. That was, oh man. Revengeance is a treat, dude.
It's a great game, and I'm glad it's the last Metal Gear game we've ever got. What's 5?
What's 5?
Survive.
Oh shit, Christian got me.
We talk about that one even less. But you just have a field day over there on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I
Command
was
from
just
Selvaria.
You got it, hon.
let Jan do all the work. Jan and Audrey.
Yeah, they're fine, and Claudia's there to resupply both of them.
Yeah. As long as you know what you're doing, this map isn't bad, it's just really fucking tedious.
Roger that.
Imperial tank approaching.
No, the map is bad and it should feel bad.
Well, I mean, I get you. It's bad, as in, don't ever do this again. I'm kind of glad VC2 had a more standardized way of doing its missions.
Roger that. Flight drill, too.
Yeah, this does seem a little early to deal with a tank and a Valkyria.
You literally just have to walk by them and it resupplies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh, orders from the
Great.
boss. We're birds of a feather here.
This last one should be it.
Watch this.
Oh no, it's still smidged.
It's got the magic pixel.
Smidgiota over here.
Just gotta chip it out. Fire that Hadouken.
As long as you have 1 HP. Oh no, wait. I was gonna suggest something, right? But you can do this. I was gonna suggest you snipe it with Welkin.
I can go another round.
From disrespect.
There you go.
I don't know. Spamming multi-action to just defeat it in one turn feels as disrespectful anyway.
Are you injured?
Selvaria, plans for the Marmota must be adjusted to account for these failures.
The Marmota.
In due time, Grace. You're in danger here. My men will see you to safety.
What men?
Yes! We managed to beat that thing back!
Kind of have a funny image
I sent
of...
the rest of the Eastern team to join you there.
Welks, the enemy forces have begun to retreat.
Then it's our turn to advance. Don't let Maximillian
I had
get
this funny
away.
image of Selvaria picking Maximillian up from the tank and carrying him bridal style out.
Not even that, just over her shoulder. With the shield still on her forearm and the lance in her other hand.
That's a good image.
Is there anything else I can get you, Prince Maximillian? Yes. I would like my favorite blanket. And some warm milk. At once, my lord.
You cowards! Reform your ranks at once!
Hey, what's up?
Ready? Fire!
So cool.
Straight up DBZ that
She
shit.
deflected a tank shell.
Such power.
Nante power.
Nani?
I see Gallia's peasant army has the will to win. All units, retreat! Protect his grace at all costs!
That cutscene is so cool. I love it.
It's pretty nice. It's also saying for one thing that we already did just do something really ridiculous by being a super heavy tank and then just beat back basically a Super Saiyan also, even though said Super Saiyan could easily solo the party if she really wanted to.
Yeah, she was on the back foot, but she was not at a disadvantage.
We drove the Empire back, but not without sustaining heavy casualties ourselves.
We never thought the commander of the entire Imperial force would be there.
Not just the commander. Maximillian had that woman with him. What was she? I can't believe she's human.
In her hands, borne cobalt lance and shield, therewith to strike down all man's arrows.
What?
One account of the Valkyrie describes them in those terms.
You can't mean that she... But they existed thousands of years ago. If they'd survived, we'd know.
I'm not saying I buy all the legends either. I realize that it sounds a little crazy.
But what we saw out there could only have been the Valkyria of legend.
I know.
That is what we call
Chapter 8. The Woodland Snare.
spooky. That was good. That was good.
A solid effort.
No, nothing. Okay.
Sorry, I'm too old.
I'm having trouble remembering.
Oh, and
This time. Yoko. Athrun! I'll make room for her.
I thought you said Athrun.
Athrun!
Son of a bitch.
Kira.
I'd assumed my fortunes would only improve around you. This is unfortunate.
I used you in one map, that was alright, because you're a secret character. No, I really like
hello,
Catherine.
I'm Catherine O'Hara. I look forward to joining you all. Come back anytime you need to change your lineup, Lieutenant.
I'll beast you up a level.
Kupo!
Good work, maggots! Looks like that should beat a new potential out of the shock troopers!
Cool.
You get an achievement for having all of them level 7 because this is, you know, Squad 7.
Looks like I beat up the shock troopers.
I got no use for tears! Good! Looks like that session beat a new potential out of the snipers! Come!
Welkin, bro!
More HP. Fence. Shred HP in defense. I don't need these, but I'll buy them anyway. Not quite at the branching part yet. Good. Let's see that scout weapon I picked up. Nope. Accuracy's a little bit better than the first one, but not quite. Power boost is nice though.
I'm not quite sure what they were thinking when they came up with the stats for the ace weapons, because most of them are just not good.
It's just,
at least the early ones.
Mostly, it's just you trade accuracy for power. It's just it. They get better. They get better about these in VC2 onwards, though. Until they decided to backpedal VC4 because of course they did.
Well, VC4 was like, hey, everybody really loved VC1, let's just do that again. For the most
Pretty
part.
much like that. Oh shoot, I forgot to check out Alex stuff. Militia routes Imp Commander. Sad!
Wow, Maximillian commands imps. You know, the mythical creatures that are small and monkey-like.
That sounds like a really fun D&D campaign.
So,
Right here. So, now we've had a little fun with the Batomys, it's time for the come down.
Having been driven back, the Empire retreated from Barious, and Squad 7 began its return to the capital of Randgrease.
I'm worried, boss. The scouts were due back a long time ago. Haven't heard a thing.
Welkin, we should look. The enemy could be closer than we think.
Right.
Whoops.
Hold on! Where are you going? Don't be an idiot! Who's
I
gonna
just
drive the
wanted to
tank
look
if
over.
You get hurt?
Largo, we've got to move our butts now. 2 more minutes and we'll be dead.
I'm dumb.
No choice. We're outnumbered. Everybody take cover!
Come on, Isara, now!
Right.
Well, knock silly, eh?
Where?
Welkin?
Oh, good. You're awake.
Where are we? Is everyone all right?
It looks like we got separated when that blast threw us down here.
Oh.
Alicia, there are probably still Imperials camped out up there. It's just a matter of time until they spot us here. We should move as soon as we can. Are you hurt anywhere? Do you think you can walk?
I think I'm fine. Ah! Scratch that. I think my ankle sprained, actually.
Ouch.
But I should be okay. It's not too bad to walk on.
Sorry, I know it hurts, but you've got to tough it out for now.
Of course.
Great. Now, let's try to sneak out of this mess before we're spotted.
So chapter 8 is our first multi-part map chapter. We got 2 maps to deal with in this one. First, we have to get out of the snare. So escape from the forest snare.
Alicia, here's a map of the area. Looks like they've got us surrounded.
It's time for more status. You'll only be 2 units out there, and your positions are predetermined. You must reach the destination to the north to escape the perimeter they set up out there. Due to the darkness, you'll be dealing with far more limited visibility than you're accustomed to. You'll see no sight line from the enemy more than a set distance away, and you'll be able to see them in action mode. You also don't have access to wireless communications to equipment in your tank, meaning no orders. Be careful. So, Welkin and Alicia have to reach the destination on the top of the map.
All right, ready to start moving? Let's sneak out of their perimeter without being spotted.
Where's my cardboard box, game?
Wow, it's really gotten dark. The lack of light means it's harder to see enemies in the distance, so watch out.
Ow!
Is your ankle gonna make it?
Sorry. I don't know how much I can run like this.
That's all right. You set the pace and I'll follow.
Yay! Mortar fire!
Is that sound a mortar?
Have they spotted us?
No, their aim is too far off. They're probably trying to scare us out with it. If we're careful, we can predict where they'll fire and steer clear of the target area.
So, yeah, like on occasion they'll set mortar target to blast you out with a mortar fire that will do big damage, so try to steer clear of it. They'll set more mortar fire if you get caught by the spotlight that are scattered around the map, so be very careful. So, Alicia's AP is severely reduced due to her sprained ankle, so she's only got 300 AP now.
I think she even has an animation for it, too.
Yep.
Love attention to detail like that.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Yeah, she can't run.
Which is probably good, you're supposed to be sneaking.
Hey, Welkin, what's that light?
No, Alicia, don't go into
Oh,
it.
that's a luciferant. It's bioluminescent, the same sort of thing as a firefly. Hey, wait. The luciferant feeds mostly on manure. There could be an animal trail here. With luck, it might let us sneak past without the enemy spotting us.
Oh, we got shot already, so already off to a bad start there.
I'm impressed that
Ready
scout
to go.
saw her, to be honest.
Gotta love nature.
That sucks. I gotta start over now, because Alicia got in the way.
It's firing like tranquilizer bullets or something?
Yeah. Now, this is the first map where, for quite a bit of the time, the enemy starts employing status effect weapons, which will impair you in some degree. Scouts having defense down weapons, which is just the worst.
Enemy sighted! Moving out! Don't even think of dodging. Now!
Nice.
Hold on.
Hey, what's that over there?
Guess we'll find out later.
My turn, okay?
Or Welkin just stays at the beginning. It's so weird, there's no music.
Yeah.
Kinda neat. Very ambient, very tense.
Here we go.
Here we go.
I like how they're just mortaring the same exact spot again.
Nature.
You sure you got him right? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, fire it one more time. We got plenty of ammo.
Great. This is Ponicera.
What's up, Welkin?
It's a wild herb that works well on bruises. Just have to grind the stem and leaves down. Alicia, let me put this on your ankle.
It kind of stings, but I think it hurts a little less now. Thank you, Welkin.
Okay, let's push on ahead. We might find more Ponicera growing nearby.
So there are some Ponicera plants out here like this, and if you have both Alicia and Welkin nearby one, and Welkin can trigger an event too. Oh, you have both of them nearby. Welkin can apply some of the Ponicera to Alicia, and that'll regen, and that'll give Alicia some more AP for the map.
Nice.
Now she's at 450.
Okay? Don't even think of dodging. Can't beat the smell of fresh soil.
Fucking mine.
Who puts a mine there?
Here we go.
Thank you.
Searchlights. This is bad news.
What do you figure will happen if they see us?
They'll radio our location to the mortars and we'll see them land a whole lot closer.
Not high on my list of good things. We'd better keep our heads down out here.
So, yeah, searchlights. Let's try to stay out of their direct fire, or the direct sight, and then scoot along past. Otherwise, they'll have a direct mortar there, and no escaping that one unless you can spare the AP.
Spotlight Swim sure is a fun game, isn't it?
Nah, it's alright. There.
Didn't even get caught, and the mortar's like, right there. That's where they're at.
Moving out. Come on, pull it together. Can't beat the smell of fresh soil. Can't beat
That's
the
a
smell of
mine.
fresh soil.
That's a lot of mines.
That's a lot of mines.
I'm taking extra special care.
Good proc on that.
Moving out. Can't beat the smell of fresh soil. Enemy unit spotted.
Rude.
Oh, you lived.
Ready to go. Gotta love nature.
Time and place, Welkin. We need to be as stealthy as possible. Gotta love nature.
Yes!
I like that victory pose.
Yes!
Yes!
Sorry. My bad. I'll be quiet now. I love nature!
I'm invincible!
Veggie power! Oh, wait, I think I found Largo.
There's an ace very close there. I think that might be him right there. If not, it's hidden.
Moving out. Don't even think of dodging.
Circle around. Just make it. Nice. Missile plant.
Ready to go.
Wait for it to circle around. Ace doesn't move, okay.
Look at you playing Metal Gear Solid.
Alicia, here's some more Ponicera. Let's get this on that ankle.
You know what you need, Ray? You need a chaff grenade.
Thanks. It hurts even less now.
Show me that ankle.
That's good, but still, don't push yourself.
I'd take flashbangs at least.
Flashbangs OP.
Enemy
Flashbang through the door.
There's the ace.
Ty the Immortal.
Yep. He's back, baby.
Be careful.
He is immortal. Jeez.
Ty, now's your chance. Take the shot.
Take the shot. God, he hurts.
Sneak around the side.
Return of Taishitsu.
Gotta love nature.
That's not good.
Shit.
My turn, okay?
Oh.
Welp.
Not far enough.
Damn.
Nope.
Can't beat the smell of fresh soil.
Okay.
Yeah, this is looking not good.
I think you're gonna have to reset. Oh, yep. Not even the mortar. Random scout.
Sorry, everyone. I don't think I can.
Mission's kind of watertight.
Spiker. Alright, try again.
Play it again, Sam.
Moving out.
What's this icky paint-like goop? It's moving!
Now, boys! Don't touch that stuff!
Kenneth SP gifted a tier 1 sub to MS Call.
Sub. Mechanic, thanks, man.
Gotta love nature. Hostile sighted!
Oh, you...
Pain in my ass. Yeah, that's what you
At least
get.
he's dead.
You can debuff all you like in hell.
This is like trying to fight the end in MGS3. Just random bullet shoots you out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll just turn the clock in my PS2 to 2 weeks ahead.
Moving out.
Kojima's a madman.
I know, it's so hilarious. They actually call you out on it too, kind of.
I will say, one more detail I appreciate with this map. The mortar blows up the trees.
That does help.
Good. The major just says skill issue.
Ready to go.
Well, nobody likes Major Zero
Love
anyway.
nature.
He is a Major Zero.
Yeah.
Enemy sighted.
The tree is legitimately blocking your bullets. There you go. Welkin.
If you ask me, that's good progress.
Yeah, you just you just end turn and then shoot him again. But...
Moving out.
Ready to go. Gotta love nature.
Oh.
Damn. That's unfortunate.
Oh. I
think that's it.
Yeah, that scout's gonna grenade you again, probably. Or I just mows you down.
Remember there's a specific way to handle Ty.
Throw a grenade in his face.
Well, the thing is, I think you're supposed to distract him with Alicia, and then get around him with Welkin.
Moving out.
I guess after you do the event to heal her, you could just park there a turn.
Yeah, you could.
Because you're out of range of the mortar and you're not in their range. Of course, I don't know where the next mortar is going to show up.
Ready to go. Gotta love nature.
Alright, random question. Will the enemies get caught in mortar strikes if they happen to be in that location?
No, normally they do,
It's
yes.
even less now.
Okay.
That's good, but still, don't push yourself.
So yeah, I would still here for a return. And then wait for your CP and stamina to come back.
Oh, you'll also get an extra CP next turn too, which is nice.
That's right. Can you save?
I can save after this.
Okay.
I can be over there now.
Moving out. Enemy unit spotted. I'm taking extra special care.
Nice.
Nice.
Can't beat the smell of fresh soil.
Ready to go.
Run in and grenade them.
Shit.
I was about to say I thought I saw mine there. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Lucky.
My turn, okay?
I gotta run to Walmart. I think I might not make it back, but good luck.
See you, Ron.
See you, Ron.
Can't beat the smell of fresh soil.
I wonder if you can park it right between them and get both.
I need to go for Ty more. He's a greater priority.
Please hit.
Tree should have done splash damage to the other guy. Clearly fell on him.
I like how he can see you in the grass.
that's just out of range, it should be.
I'd say kill the guy with Welkin just so he doesn't snipe you when you're trying to go through the bend there.
Gotta love nature.
Oh.
Son of a gun.
Clutch.
Yes.
Yosh.
Just watch the mine. 'Cause I think there's one there somewhere. Oh, they're up there.
Ooh, there's some more Ponicera again.
Oh, the pain's mostly gone now. Thanks again.
I'm just glad it's working.
So, Welkin, is that stuff edible?
Why? Are you hungry?
Huh? No, I'm just... I wondered if I could use it in a new bread recipe.
Oh, I see. Well, the flowers have a sweet nectar to them, so it could be good. You tease me. We're sneaking around the woods and you're thinking of baking bread.
I don't want to hear it, nature boy.
Okay. Well, let's move on.
Damn. Call outpost 4. Alright, from here we should be able to sprint for it. Alicia is slow, but she has most of her AP back now.
My turn, okay? Come on, pull it together.
You Welkin. Let's be safe.
Thank you.
Oh.
Can't beat the smell of fresh soil.
Really?
Worth a try.
Really? Mortar me all you want. You'll never hit me.
Alright,
Looks like I managed to sneak past all right. I wonder if Welkin's almost here.
The dialogue implies that you would ever split them up on this map.
Here we go.
Alright, sprint. Howdy, Dom.
I gotta run and grab my dinner. I'll be back in just a minute.
Okay.
Yay! Dangerous.
We should be safe here, at least for a little while. Let's look for a spot where we can rest.
Right. It's too dark to cover much ground even if we tried.
Suddenly a lot of noises and music.
Sensory overload. Yeah, Tidy the Immortal is definitely the hardest part about that map, for sure.
Who'd build a cottage way out here? Not that I'm complaining or anything.
Convenience.
How's your ankle holding up? Sorry to make you walk so far on it.
No, it's not too bad. Don't worry.
Motif.
That's good. Still, let's get an herbal compress on it just in case.
It just figures you'd know about herbs, Welkin.
Well, this here is called Aloe severa. It's a succulent in the lily family. There's a jelly substance inside its leaves that helps combat swelling.
I should start calling you Dr. Nature. Very well, Doc. I entrust my ankle's care to you.
Fix her up.
All right, that should do it. How's it feel? A little weird?
No, it's nice and cool. Thanks, Doc.
I'm just glad we found something to help you. The pain should ease with time, too.
So, Welkin, what got you interested in nature to start with?
It's a very good question.
Well, I don't know. I guess it had a lot to do with my dad's influence.
General Gunther's?
Yeah. Whenever he came home, we'd take a trip collecting bugs in the mountains or swimming. Somewhere along the way, going on those trips turned into a love of nature for me, too.
The General out collecting bugs? That's unexpected.
No, Alicia, that's
So,
Beetle-tastic.
I guess other people see him as a big, stoic military hero. He had his own share of worries, though.
Yeah?
My mom died as a casualty of the First European War. I don't think Dad ever got over the fact that he couldn't protect her. But everybody else was always praising him for being a great hero. The war won him respect and adulation, but it also cost him the love of his life. I think that always weighed on him. That question of what he fought the war for.
I had no idea.
But when he was out in the woods playing with me, he was always so bright and happy. Maybe I fell in love with nature because it always put the smile back on my dad's face.
Oh, Welkin.
It was very sweet, Welkin. It's time for one of those tropes you really like, Kris, in these war stories.
Yay!
Alicia, someone's coming. Freeze!
Oof.
Welkin, what?
He's badly wounded. I'm surprised he can even walk. Help me.
Welkin, do something! Well?
It's no use. The wound's way too deep.
It hurts. It's so dark. Oh, God, Mother! Mother?
It's okay. Don't be afraid. Mother's right here. Everything's fine. See?
Yes. It's...
F to my guy.
Sag.
Rest in peace, generic imp.
We'll remember you.
You find the boss and Alicia?
Nah, still nothing.
He's hard at work.
Isara, how about you quit messing around and help us look?
The Edelweiss still requires maintenance.
Your own brother's gone missing here, and you'd rather be doing maintenance work than look?
It's because he's missing that I'm doing this. We have no idea when he'll be back, but making sure the Edelweiss is ready for him is the best thing I can do for him now.
Not like I care either way.
It's not like you care much about Welkin Vaca.
I hear what you're saying, kid. Just be sure you rest up while you can. You've been working since first thing this morning. You're Squad 7's only tank pilot. If you pass out on us, we're all toe up. Hear me? Getting a good night's rest is another thing you can do for your brother right now.
I understand. Thank you for your advice, Largo.
Sure.
Just looking out for the little kid. One in death?
Welkin, I couldn't do anything for that poor man. He was lying there asking me for help, but all I could do was watch him die.
That's not true. You helped him in a way only you could, Alicia. The look on his face when he passed on wasn't one of pain.
No, I guess you're right. Thank you, Welkin. I'd always just thought of the Imperials as monsters out to kill Gallians. But they're just as human as we are, huh? With families of their own to fight for.
War is bad.
They are.
War is hell.
It's like the war started and we all forgot that. It's so simple, but if we weren't at war, he might be back at home with his family now. Hey, Welkin. A family, I mean. I grew up in an orphanage. I don't even know my parents' names.
No, you didn't.
But maybe I'm actually lucky, huh? If you never have a family in the first place, you can't ever lose them. I guess being all alone has its perks.
Don't even joke about it. You know you're not alone. You've got me and Ys, everybody in Squad 7. We're all a family now, Alicia.
Squad 7? A family?
You know it.
Sure. I'm the dad, you're the mom, Rosie and Isara are like daughters. And Largo is the grandpa. Come on, can't you see it?
You might want to rethink that a little bit,
You know
Welkin.
Largo would kick your butt.
Sure, we have our share of fights, but they say that best friends fight the most, right?
Yeah.
So don't go saying you're all on your own. You hear me?
All right, Welkin. And thanks.
Huh?
Oh dear.
The helmet and rifle? They belong to Fritz, sir.
Are you two the ones who laid him to rest?
Yes.
There are signs of medical treatment inside the cabin, sir.
Why then? Explain to me the reasons you had to save his life.
He was delirious. He was crying out for his mother. We may be enemies in this war, but we all have families waiting for us at home. As a human being, I couldn't just sit by and watch a man in pain without trying to do something.
We always called him a mama's boy, sir. And now... Sorry, Fritz. I wish we could have been there for you.
And you, son, do you have a family?
Yes. I have a younger sister. And I have another sort of family as well. I have the soldiers of my squad.
I see. I have a wife and daughter back at home. I feel the same as you. My men are like a second family to me. Thank you. Thank you for honoring Fritz as you did. I'm sure his mother will appreciate it. I suppose we'll meet again on the battlefield. I'm sorry for that. You both seem like good people. For now, so long.
Well, I guess we should hurry back and join the squad.
You're right.
That's the last time we'll see him, by the way.
We'll meet him. He's in a tank somewhere. We'll blow it up. Don't worry about it.
So during that cutscene, all I could think of was, Squad 7? A family? Ah!
Now for the second part of the map.
Gunshots from before came from around here. The rest of the squad may still be in combat close by.
The enemy's base camp is located on the river's south bank, and the force deployed around it is significant. They've also put up quite a defense, including a barrier that only a tank can take down. You and the rest of your squad are separated by the river, north from south. Until you reach their position, they won't be able to use the device. You need to get to them as soon as humanly possible, then immediately launch your attack. Your objective is to occupy the enemy's base camp. The enemy knows your tank is out of commission, expect them to come crashing down on your squad in the meantime. Until you can get to them, they need to take cover behind the sandbags to keep our camp safe. As a reminder, you won't be able to issue orders until you get back on the Edelweiss's wireless communication system. So, get to the base camp and make sure that the Edelweiss does not get destroyed, because it's vulnerable right now.
Bend and attack.
First, we've got to meet back up with the squad. Ready to go, Alicia? Alicia, how's that ankle doing?
Just fine. I'm A-okay here.
Alicia is back and ready to sprint.
I saw some black smoke in the distance. That could be the other Sevens.
But black smoke would mean they could be engaging the enemy.
Right. There could be enemies near us, too. Let's get back to the others ASAP.
Well, that's rude.
Yeah, they have a mortar too. This way from here.
Can you cheese things by taking it out early or not?
I actually don't recall if you can destroy it. I think you can though. Yeah. Should be fine. There is an ace. Yep, this one right here. Sight with the links. A sniper. And as you can see here, death. They've got you entrenched really down bad here.
Tank right outside your doorstep. Lovely.
Well, there's the Edelweiss here. Isara is in the seat, but you can't do anything with it.
You would think you'd at least be able to drive the Edelweiss. She is the tank pilot.
Could. Can't.
Ready to go. Yes!
Good work. Keep it up.
Gotta love nature.
Complete the objective ASAP.
Oh, that's lovely.
My turn, okay?
Yeah, do not go through the front there in the mortar cannon. You will be shot to pieces.
You got any ammo left over there?
Can't beat the
Son
smell
of
of
a
fresh
bitch.
soil.
Try to approach the...
Man down. Everybody be careful.
Just another mine chilling there.
Roger.
Goodbye.
Cool.
I'm not done yet.
Man Man down. Everybody be careful.
And again.
I'm not done yet.
And again.
I'm not done yet.
Good. Stand back.
I gotcha!
Good power.
Is the sunrise helping to improve visibility yet?
Here goes! Yay!
Nice work. Keep taking them down.
I gotcha! I found you, Mr. Bad Guy!
Flat, flat. Oh.
I spotted one!
I'm on.
Yeah.
Shock troopers have attack down. Yeah, no point there now.
You're about to get mortared anyway. Poor Ike is about to have a bad time.
Reinforcements again. On. Nice miss. Ooh.
Nice.
I believe the sniper's status effect is ammo down.
Thank you, Mr. Tank, for coming close. Oh, never mind.
Dang.
I'm surprised it didn't tag the Edelweiss, to be honest. Please tell me that did damage to the tank. Nope.
Nope. Sorry.
Ready to go.
Sprint.
Watch the mine.
Guys, got it.
Can you break through the front lines?
Let's beam.
Take this.
Damn. Not quite.
go. Gotta love nature.
You got any ammo left over there?
We're back, everybody. Sorry to worry you.
Welks! Oh, good. Are you hurt at all?
Yeah, I just stepped on a mine.
We're fine. What's your status here?
We were unable to break through the enemy line without you to lead the Edelweiss. Now that you're back, we'll launch a tank offensive on your command.
All right, good. Squad 7, commence the attack.
Welkin immediately boards the Edelweiss, and you can now use it for fight. Use it for fighting.
And he gets full health.
Yep.
Or the you're in the base repaired it. I don't know.
Even more important.
This is an order. All of you, focus on defense.
Just watch this. You joking? There! Fetch top balls!
I have the power.
All right.
Good.
Or you're just out here being your wall and absorbing everything.
Here we go.
Hey, hey.
Now.
Ragdoll.
Hostile sighted, currently in pursuit.
Roger.
Goodbye. I'm not done yet.
Catherine earning MVP over here.
Good.
Minor damage sustained.
That's okay.
Damage minimal.
Ow.
These guys are frame zeroing their attack inputs.
This guy's facing south.
Moving out.
Nice.
Mm-mm.
Enemy unit neutralized. Keep advancing.
Stay there.
This is an order! All of you, focus on defense!
Right, here I go.
Camp.
Time to make use of the Edelweiss as a support attack bot.
Perfect.
I'm impressed with our supplies.
Ah, skip that. Good.
Roger. I'm not done yet.
Man down. Everybody be careful.
Roger. I'm not done yet.
Man down. Everybody be careful.
Been waiting here. There! Vegetables!
Time to just charge right in.
Going to move.
Very cool.
All right.
Alright, we should have this next turn.
Easy. Will now block their reinforcement again. What a lousy shot.
Tried so hard, only to miss. Oh, geez, not even a bother.
Oh, they slightly moved the mortar location for once.
Here we go! Gotta love nature.
So there's this
Sorry,
gate
Largo.
here. It's not there anymore.
Sorry, Largo.
Keep them away from the camp.
And wait.
No problem, boss. It's over.
Hang it, Ika.
Swing and a miss.
I know you're back there. Get out here.
You got any ammo left over there?
Well, that's okay.
Ding.
Operation complete. We took their base.
Good gains. One last cutscene to see us out. Hey, we're back.
Lieutenant Gunther reporting for duty.
Hooray!
We really missed you, boss. Lieutenant, that is.
Isara, aren't you gonna welcome your brother back home?
You was worried about him, weren't you?
Huh?
Welcome back, Welks. I'm glad you're all right.
Thanks. So am I.
Largo and Rosie, thank you for looking for my brother. I'm in your debt.
Having some dark hair thank me. Well, it's weird.
Good to see him in one piece, though. You gotta admit that, right?
Well, it was an adventure, all right. And pretty scary, too. But I feel like I got to know you a little better. And when you said that Squad 7 was like your second family, it made me feel... I felt really happy. So... thanks for that, Welkin.
All in a day's work, eh? Nerd.
Chapter 9. A Midsummer Incident.
Skirmish, and this is definitely a good place to leave off. And before we do that, let's see what they have at headquarters.
I'll teach you Heal All today.
Oh, baby!
Use it to request a full medical team to heal all wounded Allied units. Well, what is your decision?
I believe Heal All restores either you go to 100 or 200 HP to all units.
Very good.
Iggy,
I hope my orders can assist you in saving the nation. I hope we'll meet again. Should you wish, you can likely find me here.
That one's pretty nice if you're battered and don't have any time to just be throwing out Ragnade. X. Who's new today? Elise? Sorry. Okay.
Come.
Pump you boys up.
I got no use for tears. Sweat.
I think you're right, Yoren. I think he does get a new one. They don't tell you about it though, hidden. But yeah, he does. I think he does get one.
Maggots. Okay, you've earned clearance for a new order.
Demolition boost. This stacks with damage boost, and I believe this adds like either 15 or 20 to your anti-armor power. But I think there's a bug involved with it in the original version. I don't know if the PC version fixed it or not. I forget what the bug entails to it though. Okay.
I got no use. Good work, maggots. Looks like that session beat a new potential out of the engineers. Okay, you've earned clearance for a new order. Put it to good use out there.
All units evade. This is just evasion by 10. Not particularly useful order since evasion is kind of but I don't know.
Well.
Alright, now we can actually start messing around with the different tiers. So the rifle split into the Gallian A1, S1, or the X1. The A1 increases firepower. The X1 inflicts defense down. And S1 is general accuracy boost. Machine guns get their added effect and firepower. Added effect lower enemy's attack value. This one will become available until Lancers are class up. Just get the firepower boost for the Tamer instead. Snipers.
Oh, that's right. Which one gets the intercepting?
In this mod, it's the Brondel X series.
Yeah.
Which normally gives aim down.
All set for you, bro. It's done.
Brondel M1 is just power, and GSR series is accuracy and range. Not normally doesn't.
They didn't add that till 2, right? With the
with
the triple shot.
All his mech sniper rifles. Machine gun. No defense. Crit defense. Can't place these all together anyway.
We have the money.
Another ammo mag. We have much room placed though. It's all right. No, not yet. Close though. I'll have Catherine try out the Brondel X next time, see how that tracks. I'll give Marina the power one. Oh, oops.
I feel like the power bump really doesn't outmatch getting an extra 200 to range.
No, not for now.
At this stage, yeah.
No, not for now.
So when you go through and purchase all the different upgrades on the branching paths, does it default to the last one you purchase for everyone?
Yeah, it defaults to the last one purchased.
Okay.
Glorious speed.
It's Duck's favorite race. Yeah, Duck's favorite race.
So, come back.
Alright, and with that, that'll do it for this stream session today, everybody.
Nice and long and good session.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Hold on. Get out of here. Oi! Fucking... Stop that.